District Council, Polegate School, Willingdon, Jevington Parish Council and Polegate Town Council. If those aren't enough clues, there are also members of the Jazz Cabinets Band and the Martin family.
Where is he?
This all leads me to announce that the first recipient of the Polegate Town Council Civic Award is to be Councillor Roy Martin. And Now, Roy, I know you, and if I give you the chance to speak, you'll probably be here all night, so I'll carry on with why we have chosen to honour you in this way. Roy Martin, this is your life. Thanks to your daughter Madeline, who has compiled a brief history of your life, we have taken some of the main bullets.
She come here.
She's behind you, Roy. Watch what you're saying.
He always interrupts, doesn't he? Right. We have compiled a brief history of your life, and we have taken some of the main bullet points as follows. You were born in Hailsham and moved to Polegate as a young boy. When war broke out, you typically lied about your age in order to serve your country and join the RAF, age 17, where you were sent to Burma and was awarded the Burma Star. After the war, you met and married Rosamond, later having 2 sons and 2 daughters. Having been a radar fitter in the RAF, this led to work for Decca and other companies as a television engineer, also being a trade union shop steward. From the 1950s up until the present, you have been passionate about jazz and have played in several bands, including the Jazz Cabinets and the Expedient Brass Band. Now, since being successfully elected in 1989, you have worked tirelessly on behalf of the residents of Polegate as a county, district and town councillor, with many notable achievements, not least of all the successful campaign for the Polegate bypass. You have served as Governor of Polegate School, championed the elderly, supported community buses. Well, the list is endless. So, it is therefore gives me the greatest of pleasure to present you the first Civic Award on behalf of the Town Council to Councillor Roy Martin in recognition of his commitment and service as a councillor to the residents of Polegate for more than 20 years. I've had this special plate commissioned for you. Which has Polegate Windmill on. Furthermore, we have a combination of the full This Is Your Life. We've got the additional photographs that we'll add tonight, so we'll, if we want to give it to you a little bit later on. Is that okay? We have some flowers for Madeline. For all her hard work in doing a lot of undercover detective work. bunch for Rosamond.
Oh, that's nice. She doesn't know anything about it.
No. You can tell her they're from you, Roy.
I am. I thought there was something up when she started bringing out better clothes and.
Now, Roy, we're going to give you an opportunity to respond if you wish.
I'd love to.
You might.
I always like to break the illusion that I speak too long. It's just that I'm so.
You've got 3 minutes.
First of all, I hope you made sure that the members of the band that are here tonight didn't bring any hidden instruments. And it was an utter surprise to see them. And Councillor Martin Mark II is here tonight, all the way from Scotland, and I'm rather shocked at that. And you know, I love all the people in Polegate, and it's always been a pleasure to be able to be a sort of father, grandfather to them all, and people come up to me in Polegate High Street. I have to use the car to go shopping because it takes about 3/4 of an hour to walk down High Street. Roy, have you sung? And they come up to me and I listen carefully and try and sort out things as they come up, you know. And I'm astounded at this. My gasket is actually flabbing. Did the chief executive know about this? He was speaking about yesterday.
I know about some of it, Roy.
So, anyway, thank you all. I thank you all. I won't say it the wrong way round. From the bottom of my heart. I will stop there because I'm astounded and flabbergasted twice over about this. It's amazing. You know, I'm very grateful to everybody. I shan't be able to moan about and say, well, I shan't be able to do that now.
Do enjoy the rest of the year.
Besides that, the plate's getting heavy.
Charles Mack would like to say a few words about.
Back in the box.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Roy,
Yeah.
when I said earlier, I know about some of it. The bit I didn't know was that I was going to get to make a speech. Because they don't normally let council officers make speeches. That's normally the prerogative of the politicians. But I think Tim wanted something essentially that was brief.
Yeah.
So he asked me to do it. And it will, of course, be the truth, and it is from the bottom of my heart. As an officer, I work for Roy. I work with him, and I work for him and for the councillors. I've been working with councillors now for 31 years in local government. And I've been able to benefit from his wise counsel, and I've also been able to benefit from the sharp edge of his tongue when he's felt that either myself or some of the other officers at Wealdon haven't delivered on behalf of the people of Polegate. And I can tell you with all honesty, he brings 3 very essential qualities to the council, to its council meetings and to its work. And that is his tireless commitment. He's got so much experience and skill and knowledge and ability that he really brings always to the fore for the people, not just for the people of Polegate, but also for the people of Wealdon. Despite his advancing years, because I notice he lied about his age to get into the army, and I think he's been lying about it ever since. He is unsurpassed in terms of energy and in terms of turning up at meetings and his commitment to those meetings. And critically, he brings not just wisdom, but a sense of humour. And he brings that, and it's relied upon and fed upon by other councillors, and they've often received the benefit whether they liked it or not. So in closing, I think really it's a privilege and an honour to be asked to say a few words about Roy Martin. I wish I had more chance to rehearse them, to be honest. But as a representative of the Wealdon District Council, I'd like to thank you on behalf of that organisation to it, and that you continue to make, and hope that you continue to make it for many more years to come.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to just call upon Clive Hale to say a few words. Clive Hale's the head teacher of Colgate Junior School, infant school.
Primary school. One of them.
Yeah, what can you say about Roy? I don't know if you remember it, Roy, but we probably met about 20 years ago.
When you were,
I was
before you
at
came to Colgate, yeah?
And at the time, a parent was in dispute with me over a quite simple matter. Her child was smoking in the toilets. I caught her, and the parent somehow made a complaint to Roy because she wasn't happy about things. And Roy came out to the school because he'd said that he would look into it on behalf of his parent. And he came out, and what impressed me was that he didn't come to rant and rave and saber-rattle. He wanted to come out genuinely to find out the facts so that he could go back to the parent fully informed and reassure her that the matter had been dealt with properly. There was then quite a gap. At that time, the ponytail, I think, was about that long. So a lot has sort of developed since then. I then came to Polgate School, and Roy was on the governing body and served there for several years. What impressed me there was that Roy would always turn up to meetings, often with the wrong papers, because he had already been to 4 or 5 or 6 meetings during that day, and in the rush might turn up at the school instead of governing body papers, he might have the council pages. But he would be fully informed. He knew what was going on. Sometimes he might not say anything in meetings, but then would come and have a quiet word with me afterwards and say, about that matter, I'll look into it for you. And I knew he would look into it, and he'd come back and tell me what he'd done about it, and things would happen because of that. The other thing I can guarantee with Roy is that within about 5 minutes of the meeting starting, he would be sitting there, seemingly fast asleep. I know nobody else has ever noticed it. No. But just when you start nudging each other and saying, oh, Roy's gone again, he would sit bolt upright and say, yes, I think we should take action now. And he would know exactly what was going on. He's been listening all the time. He was just resting his eyes at that moment. So, you know, just huge, huge commitment to whatever you take on, Roy. It's never less than 100%. I know the children locally have got a lot to thank you for. I certainly thank you. I couldn't think of a more worthy recipient.
Thank you very much.
So on behalf of us all here, Roy, do enjoy the rest of you amongst your friends.
Yeah.
And do help yourselves to drinks and nibbles. Over to you.